What's the most inaccurate thing your child has ever been taught in school? My 7-year-old son Miles came home from second grade absolutely terrified, clutching his backpack like his life depended on it. "Mom, Mrs. Garcia said if you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years. His voice was shaking with pure terror. I'm a pediatric surgeon at Children's Hospital. I've literally removed thousands of foreign objects from kids' stomachs over the past 15 years. Coins, toy parts, magnets, marbles, batteries, you name it. But gum, never once in my entire career. Honey, that's completely wrong. Gum passes through your digestive system in just a few days, exactly like everything else you eat." Miles's eyes went wide with disbelief. "No way." She showed us this huge diagram of a stomach with gum stuck all over the walls like glue. She said it builds up and up until you need surgery. I knelt down to his level. "Miles, I promise you, that's not how stomachs work." But he was already shaking his head frantically. "She said kids have died from swallowing too much gum. She said their stomachs exploded." The next morning, I watched my bubblegum-obsessed son refuse his favorite Hubba Bubba at breakfast. This was the same kid who used to blow bubbles bigger than his head and had a collection of over 50 different gum flavors. "You sure you don't want any gum, buddy?" He pushed the pack away like it was poison. "I'm never chewing gum again, ever." At lunch, I got a frantic call from the school nurse. Miles was in her office, sobbing hysterically. "What happened?" I asked, rushing over from the hospital. "I accidentally swallowed my gum during snack time." He hiccuped through tears. "Am I gonna die, Mom? Is it gonna stay in my stomach until I'm 14? Will I need surgery like you do?" That was the absolute last straw. I emailed Mrs. Garcia that evening. "I'd like to speak to your class about digestive health tomorrow morning." When I arrived the next day, she introduced me to the class as Miles's mom who works at the hospital. 23 second graders stared at me with curious but terrified eyes. "Kids, who can tell me what happens if you accidentally swallow gum? It stays in your stomach for 7 years!" They screamed in unison, some kids looking genuinely terrified, others covering their mouths protectively. I pulled out my phone and showed them an actual X-ray image. This is what a real stomach looks like. See how it's constantly moving and churning? Everything that goes in comes out. A girl in the front row raised her hand timidly. "But Mrs. Garcia showed us a picture where the gum sticks to the walls." That picture isn't medically accurate. I'm a doctor who specializes in children's stomachs. In 15 years, I've never once had to surgically remove gum from anyone. The classroom went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Mrs. Garcia's face turned bright red. "Well, we tell them that story so they won't make a habit of swallowing gum. But now they're absolutely terrified of a completely harmless accident. Look at my son. He won't even chew gum anymore." I turned back to the class. "Has anyone here ever been scared they might accidentally swallow their gum?" 18 hands shot up immediately, some kids looking like they might cry. A boy in the back called out, "My sister cries every time she chews gum. She makes our mom watch her." "So if I swallow gum, I won't die?" asked a girl with pigtails, her voice barely a whisper. "You won't die, you won't get sick, and it'll be completely gone from your body in 3 to 4 days, just like everything else." 23 kids let out the biggest collective sigh of relief I'd ever heard in my life. Mrs. Garcia crossed her arms defensively. "But what if they start swallowing gum on purpose? Then you teach them not to waste gum and that it's not food without scaring them to death." After class, 5 different parents came up to thank me. Apparently, their kids had been having nightmares about gum-filled stomachs and refusing to chew gum for weeks. That evening, Miles asked for his first piece of bubble gum in 2 weeks. "Thanks for saving me, Mom, and thanks for saving my whole class." He blew the biggest, most perfect bubble of his entire life, grinning from ear to ear.